All right. We are going to go ahead and start. So if you are in the Miro board, let's get started with what went well this past sprint. And we'll put a timer on it. Okay, we'll give it a couple more minutes. All right, we'll say pencils down. And I guess Griff, I don't know if you're down to read these, but yeah, I'll give you the first offering.
Sure, I can read
them. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. I didn't add anything myself because I haven't been around, and this is like a great way to catch up. So, but I can read them. So when something isn't working, we always go back to solid values to make a decision. It's great. Animation for Praise has bumped the workflow and has impressive advances. Steward's leadership. TE Academy is really picking up momentum, and I'm looking forward to the TE Fundamentals launch. The reward system is doing an amazing job and consistently distributes rewards. Praise to Mitch. Chewy's accountability sharing. Revisiting governance process, bringing more clarity. Issues with working groups are emerging for many groups. Good opportunity to clean the house. ARM and Costa have been doing amazing community building work plus organizing in Discord. Surprise release of Discord forum feature is perfect timing. Progress in rallying around Gitcoin grants. Mateo is rocking the ABC page. TE Fundamentals is about to launch during DevCon. I think we'll see a lot of movement from that here too. Curation service coming along nicely. Gravity exploring different income streams. DevCon is coming. TAM's leadership. Reward analysis that Rex is doing. Twitter Spaces. Griff is back. Hey, that's me. CLR fund application from Gravity and transitioning in the TEC. So, do we usually pass it around for
Thanks,
some
Griff.
comments?
Yeah, we'll start off with how about Olivia? Do you want to start us off?
Sure. Yeah. I'm seeing all of the stuff that is coming up as an opportunity to organize things that maybe we're sitting for a long time. So the working groups and how funding has been managed internally. I think there's a lot of important conversations happening. I loved that Chewy brought an accountability process to the table, and that this made other groups reflect as well. And Iram and Costa have been doing an amazing work. It's really great to see them, and the reward analysis Rex presented is awesome, like understanding more in depth how praise can help us or not. And I'll pass to Zati.
Thanks, Libby. Yeah, I mean, Mateo is really rocking the ABC page. Like we're aiming to release on Wednesday. He was doing very great job during the summer, but now he's like pushing really hard. So yeah, big praise to him. Also I want to mention like Tam's leadership. Like she's I don't know, like I felt very supported by her. And yeah, I'll pass it to Juanca.
Thank you, Septi. Well, for me, it's really cool that DevCon is coming. It's something that I've been waiting for over 2 years, and now it's around the corner. And I am also working with the local community, trying to be good hosts for everyone that comes. Besides that, I also have seen a lot of like participation on Twitter Spaces. I like that. And from Gravity side, we are looking for creative ways to look for funding. We have been exploring and having conversations with the proposal inverter team. We are also looking for grants. We are participating in this CLR fund grant that will happen at DevCon. And yeah, that's something interesting. Besides that, I am happy that we're transitioning the TC and that we are moving from a very robust, high costly under operations organization to a more lean organization, but like focused on interaction with other agents. I don't know, it's just the way I see it. But okay, I will pass it to Gideon.
Thanks, Wonka.
Before you go, Gideon, I just want to welcome Bojes Diaz. We are doing our sprint retrospective, so if you need any instructions or anything like that, please DM me or you'll catch on soon. So, yeah.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead and introduce yourself, though.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I'll pass it to you, Gideon.
Yeah, and thanks for the pass off, Wonka. I find myself really resonating with stuff you're saying these days, in particular around like, even though a lot of this stuff is challenging right now, a lot of the stuff we're dealing with around budgets and things like this, I think, we're starting to turn a corner and kind of like reorient the way we think about, our focus. And I think sometimes that's hard. And that shows up in money, and that's unfortunate. That the kind of the friction shows up around that. But even in this pain, the pain of this, I think there's good things that will come out of this. I am also really excited about the ABC page. Zepti showed it to me. I personally think like a cleaned up, like a less like a version of that. It should be the primary interface, because I think it's really cool. Primary interface for the convert page. The curation service is like cooking. It's starting to Rex actually installed the bot last night. So we are now the stuff that's in the curation, in the forum section of our Discord server is now being picked up by the bot, which is really cool. I haven't seen it yet, but I can't wait to see it today. The results of that. And yeah, that's it for me right now. I will pass it to Chewy.
Thank you, Gideon. So I think it's been a challenging couple of weeks, but I also feel that like we have dealt with it like in a very like optimistic way, and I feel this is reflecting in some of the progress that you can see in different projects. I echo the excitement around the new ABC page. And yeah, definitely, I feel that the most challenging part of transitions that we are living happened in this sprint. So yeah, I'm excited to reflect on these lessons and try to apply different changes for this next sprint. I'll pass it to Livy. Did you go?
I did. Yeah, I'll pass to Nate.
Yeah, sure, I can go. I just want to say that, I'm really excited about TE Academy's launch. I think this is going to be really good for not only token engineering in general, but it'd be a good kind of a catalyst for aggregating like-minded people into this realm. And so very excited about the potentials of the TE Academy and what they're doing there. I'm really excited about, all the things that we're going through right now and just pushing through. I think, transition is bumpy sometimes and we have to adjust to that accordingly. And I think we're doing a really good job of it. We're going to find consensus and everything's going to keep moving forward nicely. With that, I want to say, thank you to everybody in this, call right now and in our community in general, just because it takes really special individuals to navigate conflict. So thank you. I'll pass it over to Zepti.
I went already. I think Griff is the last one.
Oh, Griff, go.
I mean, I have no idea what's going on, but it sounds juicy. So that's exciting, and I can't wait to see what's up. And I guess I'm excited about DevCon and the TE Academy release. And just excited. Personally, I'm just excited to get back into the swing of things. This is like my first week back, and I didn't write this down, but I guess someone else did. Griff is back, and I'm just really excited to get back in the loop and understand the game plan for the TC. Pass it back to you, Nate.
Yeah, no worries. All right, so that's a good round. Now we're going to move on to what we could do better. So based on this past sprint, things that we could do better, we'll put 5 minutes on the clock and go.
Oh, sorry, I was trying to play the bot.
This is Wonka Radio, and it's better than the bot.
Hey, does anybody have any idea why my messages in my notes are not wrapping properly? Like they're breaking up all my words?
Maybe it's your font size.
Yeah, I don't know. No, it's because that's automatically adjusting. All right. Well, sorry, whoever's having to read these.
It's gonna be you now. Give 1 minute. All right, and pencils down. So let's see. Does anybody? We have any volunteers to take this one?
Read it.
All right. I can get it.
So first one is get a roadmap on the TEC long term, reestablishing our vision. Accountability needs to be something that applies to everyone, not only stewards, and we're failing at communicating it. Compensation issues, maintaining basic functionality will take tough decisions in the next months. We could do a better job at eliminating uncertainty, better Bitcoin grant planning, better ways of providing working groups with community feedback. Feels like a lot of big things are intertwined and hard to move. Coordination feels really hard right now. Working groups, internal budget distribution was totally out of my sight. Transparency's work being overseen, audits. Let's see. We missed great momentum with tokenomics DAO. I'm sorry, whoever visiting Pioneer is, could you move your, I just can't read that. Thank you. Where are those param party vibes? Seeing common problems not as individual events. TE proposals are not happening. Contributors stepping out. Lack of clarity on our funding narrative. Are we open for proposals? How should people act? DevCon planning. When is everyone coming? What do we need?
Yeah, I can take it. Yeah, for me, like the first thing we should get like clarity is like a long-term strategy for the TC. Like it seems like we are pulling on different sides. Feels like we don't have cohesion. So yeah, for me, like long-term vision, strategy, and get rid of the unnecessary and do what has to be done. Yeah. I'll pass it to Gideon.
Thanks, Septi. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the elephant in the room. Is like it feels like, this is what I was trying to say in that note, is that basically I think it just feels like so many things are intertwined, and we're kind of hung up around a few big things like the relationship with Token Engineering Academy. We've got to like get that straightened out. The stewardship transition, got to get that straightened out. There's the services strategy in Sampo is kind of like hanging on some of that stuff too, and so it just feels like, and then these questions about that Zepti was raising about like what are we focusing on, and what, you know, like how do we cut the things we're not focusing on and double down on the things that we need to focus on. All that just kind of feels like it's all intertwined right now and kind of hard to unpack. And then the other thing I just wanted to highlight is I feel like some of this too is that I think we need like some ways of providing working groups with like mid-course feedback from the community about how like the community feels like they're doing. I mean, I think in some ways like it's like the calm situation, and I mean, this is true for Sampo too. Like, you know, I think people are kind of like wondering what's Sampo doing, right? I think these kinds of things, Livy's survey was great, and I would just love to see us doing that kind of stuff more often. Like, we need more feedback from the community, not just this group here, not just this smaller group, but like the whole community. Like, how are we doing? That would be really useful, I think. I will pass to Livy.
Thanks, Gideon. I feel like the biggest challenge we're having now is coordination. I think we know kind of what has to be done, and for example, some of the things that came on Polis and some of the issues that come in this retro calls, like there's so many we have so many solutions, but we are failing on coordinating ourselves to act on those solutions. There's a feeling that everyone is overwhelmed with certain work pods, and we're having trouble to engage new people to do things that seem kind of complex. So I think, yeah, focusing on how we can coordinate for things to be done would be really great. I'll pass to Juanca.
Thank you, Livy. Yeah, I agree with what you've said. From my side, well, like, as I am the local, I would like to know if there is something that I can help with the people coming to DevCon. I know, like, I have talked individually with some people, but it could be really cool to continue helping anyone who has any uncertainty or doubt about coming here. Besides, I also wrote this of seeing common problems, not as individual events, and this is something that from Gravity in some of the recent cases has been like a common problem or like a common issue in the TEC, and maybe I think it could be good to tackle this as a common issue and give it like a collective effort, instead of seeing this as individual events. And what I am talking about is all these of like expectations of the contributors, maybe people like thinking that they can only exclusively work for the TEC or at the TEC, and we can like continue promoting this agency and freedom that we have in the Web3 environment, and that people can also start contributing to our communities, and by that they will also improve their contribution to the TEC, because we need that. So yeah, it's just that I think that there are some common things that have been talked in individual or small conversations, but that can be brought up to the big scene. All these of expectations and all this tightening of the budget that we're experiencing. I will pass it to Chuy.
Thank you, Juanca. Yeah, I would probably focus on reflecting on how like scarce opportunities are at the moment. I feel we particularly missed a huge opportunity with a lot of potential with the tokenomics DAO. Just to put everyone else in context, yesterday during the SoftGov call, Levy brought up that at some point Tokenomics DAO wanted to raise 12K for like a tokenomics guide, and I just feel that it would be like such a great opportunity, because if that guide like is like passed around for like a year, we probably want to get our logo in it. And I feel that putting together a proposal that can work wouldn't be like that big of an issue. So I feel that opportunities like that sometimes can be just like more present. And I've been thinking about that, Levy, and I don't know if you could put me in touch with whoever was leading that effort in Tokenomics DAO. I'd like to help out with facilitating that happening. Just I would probably say that like let's keep our eyes open for opportunities like this, because during these tough times, we're not gonna come across a bunch of that. But yeah, hopefully better times are coming, and we'll see much more of opportunities like this. I'll pass it to Griff.
Yeah, I think we should be funding initiatives that are from our partners, and definitely, asking our token holders what they think about what we should be funding, and I'm excited to get more context on a lot of the issues that are being brought up, and I like the direction where things are going, where we can maybe trim down some of our operational costs and some of our operational efforts to really like just network with the token engineering space, and be more of a connector and grants giving organization, as opposed to trying to do so much for ourselves, and also asking token holders what they want is probably a good idea as well. But again, I'm so far out of context, I don't even know what I'm talking about. So I'll just throw it over to, Nate. I don't think you had a chance to go.
Yeah. So things that I think we could do better. I think eliminating uncertainty is a big one. And to do that, I think we have to. With projects like ours, we have to keep the momentum going. We have to find a direction and head that direction. And so I would like us to, really focus on coming to consensus about the direction we're heading as the TEC, as a Commons, and kind of start marching in that way, and let the cards fall where they may, and eliminate some of that uncertainty of individual wants and desires, and saying let's see how do we make this work for everyone and for this TEC economy. And another one aspect of it is we could do a little bit better of allowing individual contributors branching out beyond their working groups. I think what Wonka was talking about really resonated in a lot of ways. I feel like working groups have become kind of this prison of I can't contribute anything outside of this realm, and I don't think we should maintain that status. We should encourage people to branch out and move to different areas where they think they can feel like they can contribute or provide value. So I will pass it on. Is everybody gone? Zepti, have you gone?
Yeah, what's the first one?
Yes, you did the first one. Okay. All right. So that is what we could do better. And now we will start off with the next one. Actions to improve. So we will put the timer on. We'll say 5 minutes and go. You give another minute. All right, and pencils down. Zepti, would you like to read us the actions to improve for the sprint retrospective?
Of course. We should build a roadmap and discuss it on the forums. Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, it's not. Okay. Clarify the Commons pool funding stats. Encourage proposals to find matching funds. Com must go back to basics. Identify the TE projects that will become major players in the industry. Let's revisit Ostroms. Facilitate more partnership with a template. Prioritize coordination. Finalize the transformations process. Let's maximize the returns by supporting all we can for the TE Academy. Focus outward. Look for unnecessary work and cut it. Organize issues, find owners for them. We can teach people, projects how to fish, not only giving it. Unified criteria on working group distros, analysis on the audits. And that's it.
All right, do you want to start us off? Or pass it?
Yeah, I can start.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like this idea of build a roadmap and discuss in the forums, like, so it accelerates the process. And also I see this analysis towards transformation process would be very beneficial for start coordinating better. I'll pass it to Chuy.
Thank you, Septi. Yeah, I agree. I think coordination in general should be a focus in somewhere where there's a lot of room for improvement. Yeah, probably also revisiting Ostrom, like, it could be something good for the next two Words Council. Just reapproach how we are applying some of the principles in our current challenges. I'll pass it to Juanca.
Thank you, Chuy. Yeah, I was thinking on this of we can teach people and projects how to fish, not only giving it. I always think that like DAOs are hyper connected, but at the same time can be seen as separated. But we are 2 clicks away from other communities and other projects, and I think that we can teach projects and people that participate in this community not only to draw the resources from our common pool, but also to look for resources in other places and use some of the toolings that we've developed, like that we are developing, like the proposal inverter and I don't know, yeah, having all these of better relationships. And I also think that we've maybe overseen the value of transparency's work because it's a silent work. But like now that we have a whole lot of data from things and the interaction that we've done over time, we can analyze that data and analyze better the audits that have a lot of good information, but that maybe cannot or haven't been analyzed or like taken as for feedback. I don't know. I will pass it to Libby.
Thanks, Juanca. I'm very bullish on this, the trio here: organize issues, find owners for them, prioritize coordination, and look for unnecessary work and cut it. I think if we focus on that, everything else will be solved. Finding a way to like manage our projects. I'll pass to Griff.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think making sure that we have a unified vision that we're all following behind and thing will help us figure out which work is unnecessary and we can prioritize the coordination work. And some of that is definitely helped by building a roadmap and discussing it on the forum. And I think like having a roadmap means having a unified vision of what our goals are. And that's, it seems like this is an awesome transitionary moment, so we can kind of start from first principles and start from our mission and vision and see where we can have the biggest bang for our buck. And focus, and I really like these like partnerships and focusing outward and TE projects, working with TE projects, like all this stuff over here too is really nice, especially supporting the TE Academy. And I'll throw it to Mitch.
Yeah, I joined basically at the end here, but I like what Griff is saying about finding the vision and cutting the things that don't serve it, so we can really focus on just getting those main goals done. And I think that's a great way to move forward. I'll leave it there. I probably don't have much to add. I'll take a shot in the dark, and I will pass it to Chewy.
I already went, Mitch, but maybe we can pass it to Gideon.
Thanks, Jerry. Yeah, I mean, I think getting the vision clarified is going to be the most important thing we can do. Period. And then I think in the other thing we really need to clarify is like, you know, this whole thing with the tokenomics DAO and how that just kind of sat up on the forum. That's not a good look for us. Like, yeah, it's really unfortunate. And I think it's, you know, there was the outreach they did to kind of try to connect with us, and I think it didn't really fit in any like one particular one of our working groups, so it just kind of like didn't stick. I think there's some ideas for how we can partner with those kind of folks, and I think the curation actually, I mean, we can talk next week about, I've got some ideas for how to actually plug partners in ways that I think will be much more natural, and they will add some real value. But the funding thing, that's kind of embarrassing to have that proposal up there and just kind of stuck like that. So, and I think Livy was bringing this up yesterday, is like, we do need to clarify, like, in tight times like this, how are we dealing? We can't just be silent and not fund stuff, but we also have to be strategic about what we're funding. So I think we just need to have some honest conversations about how we do that. And one of the things I liked Anka brought up yesterday in SoftGov is this idea of like, the teaching people to fish. You know, it's like, how do we, you know, can we do some kind of matching thing? Like in times when, you know, funds are tight, maybe we can encourage the groups to, like, you know, say, if you raise this much funds, we will match it. Or I don't know, that's kind of the Gitcoin approach, and I really like that. So I think we need to be creative in times of tight funds. And I am not sure at this point who hasn't gone yet. So Nate, can you guide me? I don't think you've gone.
Yeah, I can go. So yeah, I echo a lot of that roadmap vision. I think, you know, establishing a collective vision for how this is going to move forward, and then setting up a roadmap that gets us to that point, the two most important things that we can be doing right now. I would really like to revisit Ostrom and really identify, you know, boundaries on the common pool. I think that we really need to look at the foundations and see how we can get this TEC economy working in the way it was intended to, because I do think it's very much possible. and we just really have to get a collective vision together on that. Outside of that, I think being outward facing, we need to really look at the external environment and say, hey, let's find these TE projects that are really making an impact on this field of study, and really back them as much as possible, facilitate partnerships between them, and get them all on the same page with us. So that's a big priorities for me. I think Wonka, have you gone?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I think everybody has gone. If not, speak up now. You know the drill. We're going to get 2 stars each, 2 votes. Please go ahead and place them for what we can carry on into the next sprint. All right, do we have our votes in? Give 1 more minute for everybody to put their last minute votes in.
It looks pretty split. Should we add a 3rd star to see like if?
Yeah, I think this area here is going to be the winner here. Prioritize coordination, organize issues, find owners for them, and look for unnecessary work and cut it. So that will be brought into the next sprint. But we do have a lot of things that we can add to this next sprint. So sprint planning is tomorrow. If you can, please join us, and we will be moving from there. But thank you for everybody for joining this sprint retrospective.
Thanks, Nate.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nate.
Thanks, Nate, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.